right, I gotta do this one yet. All right, I think I'm good now. All right. All righty. All right, everybody. Give me 1 second. All righty, so I think I'm ready now. Okay, dear friends. Hello, my name's Kathy. Today it's going to be a little bit different because I have YouTube on now. Stephen came over and fixed it last night. I also now can do the recipe cards. He showed me how to copy and paste them, so I will be doing that for myself now. But today we're going to be making Amish macaroni salad and an easy Heinz 57 barbecue sauce. I already have ribs in the oven, so I put them in this morning. So let me get my hands washed and then we'll get started. I have a little bit of different of a setup now, so I got to keep on looking over here today just to make sure I have something over here that shows me that I'm on. So I just got to make sure I stay focused here. Okay. So, I have my water right here. It was boiling. I turned it down because I didn't want to wait for it to have to boil. Like I said, I have my ribs in the oven already. So, to the Amish macaroni salad. We are going to as soon as that comes to a boil, I'll put the macaroni in. I'm going to start, let me do the Heinz 57 barbecue sauce while I'm waiting for that to come up. So in this bowl, I'm going to put a cup of Heinz 57 or the store-bought, whichever one you want. I always just get the store-bought if they have it. What else do I need in there? Steve, what? I need the brown sugar. Sorry. Steve will get me the brown sugar down. I thought all I needed was white sugar. I forgot for this I need brown sugar. So he'll come get it down real quick for me. The brown sugar. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. All right, I think I have another jar of this sauce too. Maybe not. Yeah, I do. I see it. All right, I don't have enough sauce there. Alrighty. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a cup. This is boiling now, so let me put these macaroni in there. It's going to be simple today because I'm just getting used to doing all this by myself, so I thought today I'd make it simple. Okay. Alrighty, I gotta rinse this out too. So we're gonna get the Heinz 57 barbecue sauce ready first. When I make the macaroni, it gets onion in it. I'm not gonna put onion in all of it because some of the family doesn't like onion. So I promised I wouldn't put it in all of it. So I just gotta get all this out of my, I just washed my hands. I gotta make sure all the soap's out of the sink. Okay. So let's start. I need a cup of Heinz 57 because I got a lot of ribs in there. Now some of them I'm not going to put barbecue sauce on right now, and then some of them the grandson wants a different kind of No, I think I'm only gonna make one because this is gonna make an awful lot. All right, yeah, one's gonna be enough. All right, this just takes up, that takes up pretty much all of it. Alrighty. So there's 3 different ways I have that I make this. I either make it just with this ketchup, Worcestershire, garlic, and onion powder. Sometimes I put vinegar in it, and then I have one where I put mustard in it for like pulled pork or something. But I'm not going to use that one today because I'm not doing pulled pork. But I am going to put a little bit of vinegar in this. So I'm going to add about 1/4 cup of vinegar. I don't make this too often, so. The last barbecue sauce I made for you, I'm going to put it in this jar so I can get all that stuff out of it. The last barbecue sauce I made was homemade, the one that I blended up and stuff. This one's not like that. This one's pretty simple. This one's a lot simpler of a recipe than that one was. So I just wanted to get all that extra stuff out of there. Okay. I can put this back up a while. Keep my eye on this. Like I said, this won't be a real long video today, but that's okay. So, okay, to this now, I'm going to add 1/2 cup of ketchup. Normally I would add a whole cup, but because I put the vinegar in, I don't have to put a whole cup in it. So, yeah, it is 1/2 cup. All right. Let me get more ketchup out. Like I said, this when we redid this kitchen, it's not short people friendly. Let me just lift this up. There we go. Okay. And it don't have to be exactly 1/2. You can do a little bit more if you want. It's not going to hurt anything. But I'm just going to do about 1/2 in there. So there's that. Alrighty. Then I'm going to need 2 tablespoons, I think it is. 2 to 3 tablespoons of brown sugar, depending on how much you like. I like a little bit on the sweeter side, especially with this. Now, I'm going to put a little bit of, I'm going to put like about a tablespoon or so of Worcestershire in mine. Okay. And then I need a 1/2 teaspoon of smoked paprika. Now, normally I would do onion powder and garlic powder, but because I'm using that, I don't have to put all that in. So, let me get my towel here. Alrighty. So there's that. Now I can mix this up. Okay. And then you do want to make sure you try it to make sure it's okay. And I'm going to put a dash of garlic powder in there. Not much, just a little bit. And I think I will do just a hair of onion powder. Okay. Like I said, it don't have to be exact. But when I do the recipe, I have all 3 of them down here. So some people don't like vinegar in theirs, and that's okay. All right, let me get a... I want to make sure it's not too... That's pretty good. All right. Just going to put just a little bit more ketchup in that. This got a little bit of a tang to it. And, oh, and let me put my brown sugar in there maybe, huh? That's what I forgot to do. Okay. I need 2 to 3 tablespoons of brown sugar. I'm just going to put, this is a 2 tablespoon thing, and then I'll do about a half. All right. I think that'll be good. Let me close this up. Alrighty. I had some carrots and stuff I had to use up. That's why I decided to make this today. I have some hamburgers I got too, that I think on Saturday I'm going to do a stuffed hamburger with, I made it a long time ago. I used to make it a lot, but haven't made it for a while. I take a hamburger and then I stuff it with some filling, and then I put it in the oven. I put it in a bowl shape, and then I put the hamburger around it. So I think I'm going to do that on Saturday with some mashed potatoes. Yeah, that's perfect. All right, so that's the barbecue sauce right there. And let me get my strainer out because this macaroni is just about done. And that's good because I gotta have it cool down a little bit. I will put cold water on it, only because I gotta get it to cool down before I put it in the mayonnaise and the salad dressing. So Amish macaroni salad is sweeter, just so everybody knows that. It has a sweeter flavor than regular macaroni salad. So it's really very good. And let me get these out of here. Hold on. It's really very good, and I think you would like it. All right, I want to put a little cold water in that. Alrighty, so now I got to get a mixing bowl. I got the big one used already. Oh no, I got it out for that. I already got it out. All right, I'm going to take and put some barbecue sauce on some of these ribs. I'm not going to put it on all of them, but I am going to put it on some of them. And this does get eggs in it. I do have a couple eggs here that I hard boiled already. Let me get them. Okay. Alrighty. I'm just going to stick this up in there for now. Okay. Let me put that back there. I have a laptop over here now, so I can't put a lot of stuff over here anymore like I used to. So, alrighty. So let's get these ribs out, and I can't sit them right on my, and they're sizzling, huh? I can hear them sizzling. All right. I want to get all that broth off of this. Oh, you know why they were sizzling? Because I put it on that hot burner. I want to get a lot of this broth off of there. And they smell good. Alrighty. So, I don't want a lot of that broth in there. I don't care if there's a little bit in there so it doesn't stick, but I don't want a lot in there. Alright, so I'm going to get this one out also because like I said, I'm not going to put barbecue sauce on all of them. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the ones in there that I'm going to put the barbecue sauce on. Because some of them, like the one grandson likes a different barbecue sauce, so he asked me for a different one. He wants to try it, so he wanted a jar of barbecue sauce. So let me get my tongs. All right. I'm just going to put barbecue sauce right now on the ones for Steve. But you can see these ribs. Look at these ribs. They are just, and they're going to fall right off the bone. I couldn't get the bone out of this one. Now I can. So, this one had a bone in it and I couldn't get it to cut. So they're the two pieces I'm going to put in here for Steve. And the rest of this I will leave for Amanda's family. And like I said, I'm not putting barbecue sauce in there, so I'm just going to tap it back up and I'm going to sit it over here to the side for now. Because they're done. I don't need to leave them on any longer. I'm just going to stick it right over here. Alrighty. So, the barbecue sauce. I have a little brush. I'll show you how these should fall right off this bone if I don't hang myself. See, they come right off the bone. They're actually very good. Okay. So, I have to wrap this because it's big. And then it gets caught on that drawer. Alright, so I'm going to put some on one side and then I'll flip it to the other. So let me flip this now. All right, see you later. No, you don't have to lock it. Thank you. Be safe. Alrighty, look at that. They're falling right off the bone. Like I said, I put it in this morning about 11 o'clock. I just put it right in the oven. I had it up to 400 for about... I had it up to 400 for about an hour. And then I went to the grocery store. So I took it off and I lowered it to 275 and I left it on that way, and then I just left it on that for the rest of the time. So let me get this barbecue sauce off of here. I'm going to take and put this back in, but what I'm going to do is so they don't dry out, I'm going to turn my oven off after I get them back in there for after a minute or so. I'm going to turn my oven off. and just let them sit in there in the hot oven. All right. So now let's get this back in. I will be back on Saturday, as I said. I'm going to actually that's not hot anymore. Okay. I'm going to do that hamburger thing, I think. Okay, so there's that. So now, I'm going to cut up all my vegetables. I got my train of thought went somewhere else. So for this, you're going to use some carrots. And I have 16, it's 2 cups of uncooked macaroni. I had a 16-ounce box, which would be 4 cups. So, and this it's about 1/4 cup. It depends on you. You don't even have to put it in if you don't want. I just like color in mine. So, I'm just gonna grate this up. I got 2 of them out, but I don't think I need 2 of them. I wasn't sure. So, I don't think 2 of them is going to be necessary, though. And you can buy this already like this. I just had these in the refrigerator, like I said, and I'm trying to use them up. I don't use a lot of carrots, so I think Amanda gave me these, to be honest with you, because I usually get mine already grated up. Yeah, I think that's going to be good. Like I said, you don't need a whole bunch in there. Just enough for some color. About 1/4 cup. And that's over 1/4 cup there. Okay. Alrighty. Let me throw that out. And then I have a red pepper that I'm just going to cut up fine. I'm probably only going to use a 1/2 of one. I put 1 small red pepper. I might use it all. We'll wait and see what it looks like when I get it. Let me move that bowl out the way. When I get it all done, we'll wait and see what it's like. I got to start cutting over here where y'all can kind of see me. I have a habit of doing it over there because that's what I did all the time. So, like I said, we are back on Facebook. We are on Facebook now, I should say. The one day we were on, but it wasn't right. So after work last night, the guy that does all my stuff for me, he came over and fixed it all up. And then he showed me how to make my own recipe cards, because he's been really busy. So, you know, I hate to take away from him and his family too. So, I mean, it's nice of him to help me. I'm not going to make them real small because if somebody doesn't like them, they can pull them out that way. That's what I'm thinking. So, but I am going to do this whole red pepper. So, and then I'm going to use some celery, and like I said, I'm going to do some onion, but I'm not going to put it in all of it because Amanda's family doesn't like onion too much. Not raw onion, they don't like it. So if you don't like it, you can leave it out. You don't have to put it in it. I mean, I like it in there, but I've been making this for a long, long time. Since I came from York, Pennsylvania, actually. Ever since I was a kid. Used to make it a lot more when I was married to my first husband, when the kids were around. So, it just makes so much, and I guess I could cut it down and make it just a little bit for me and Steve, but it just seems to, every time I say I'm going to do that, I don't, and then I have all this food, which is not a big deal because I just take it to work and give it to everybody at work, which they don't mind, I'm sure. So, but yeah, I just thought I'd come on and do something really fast for y'all. I'm going to turn this off. And just let that go like that. And if it's not brown enough, what I'll do is I'll just turn it on the broiler for a second. So on those ribs, I did put some Killer Hog barbecue rub. So that was already put onto the ribs. So they weren't just plain ribs. They have Killer Hog on them. That's the best barbecue rub I've tasted so far. So there might be other ones out there, I just didn't taste them. So then I'm going to use, and I washed all this up already before I got on here. I'm going to take some celery and put in here. You know what I think I'm going to do with the rest of this barbecue sauce? I think I'm going to put it on the stove. As soon as I get this cut, I'm going to take a little pot and I'm going to put that on the stove and let that simmer for about 10 minutes. That'll bring a lot of that flavor out of it. So, yeah, if you put it on your stove and let it simmer a little bit, it'll bring a lot of the flavor out. Because in the first recipe you do that, but that I have on there, but it's not going to hurt it if I do it with this one too. Alrighty. And if it gets too thick, you can always take some soda, Coke, water, if you have any beef broth laying around. Because like when I did my ribs, I actually put beef broth on the bottom of them so they wouldn't stick. They gave it a little bit of moisture in there. So, okay, there we go. Let me do that. Oh, wow. Let me turn this on. I guess got to keep my eye on that. All right. I don't think I'm going to use all 3 of these. Maybe I will. I got a lot of macaroni there. Like I said, this is the kind of thing you can actually, if you don't like something, you don't have to put it in. If you like it, you put it in. You can pretty much put anything in there you want, per se. The only thing is, like I said, this is sweet because I'm going to put sugar in this. So, if you don't like it sweet, you're probably not going to like this. But it works. Trust me, it works. Yeah, I think I'm going to use all these, the celery. I will put them hard-boiled eggs in last, and I didn't even take the shells off of them yet. So when I make my hard-boiled eggs, what I do is I let them sit out either all night, if I can, if I remember, or if not, like this morning when I got up, I pulled them out, put them in a bowl, and left them sit out to get to be room temperature. Then I put them on the stove with water, filled it with water. When it started boiling, I turned off the water, turned off the stove, and put a lid on it, and left them sit on there for 10 minutes. When I brought them off the stove, what I did was I took I drained them. I put them in a bowl because I wanted to use that pot was the one I used it in. But I drain them and then I put water in it. And while I'm putting water in it, I throw ice cubes in it to make it really, really cold so they can actually come off easy. So I don't know if I don't know if that's enough or not. I gotta watch this barbecue sauce over here. I get to talking and I forget what that I have something on there. So I think that's gonna be good. I'm gonna throw the rest of that one out. All right. So there's that. It's all the things. Like I said, I'm not going to put this onion in there. I'm going to cut it up, but I'm not going to stick it in there. I'm going to stick it in part of it, but I'm not going to stick it in all of it. Because, oh, sugar, there we go. All right, hold on one second here. Turn this down. I just want this to simmer. Okay. Turn up just a hair. Okay. So, I'm just going to put this onion in with where I had them vegetables. It's not going to hurt it. And I think what I will do, because a lot of people seem to like it, later on I will post another picture of it. Because some people don't even watch the video until they see the picture of the food. So if I post it, people look at it and then they start watching the video. And I do appreciate everybody that comes on here and watches me. I really do. I can't believe I'm doing this because it's something I always wanted to do, but I was always a little afraid to do it. But, I'm trying to teach the girls, my daughter and my stepdaughter, that you got to go out of your comfort zone sometimes. And you can't let people intimidate you. So that's one reason why I started it. Plus I retired. Like I said, I am 68, so I retired. I do work 3 days a week. But it gives me something to do on the days I'm home. Because I'm cooking anyway, so why not? I'm going to put this in there. So, then after I get this done, we'll make the dressing for that. And we'll get the macaroni salad in there. Now, I'm going to show you the finished product, but you should really put it in the refrigerator for half an hour to an hour if you can before you eat it. Just to let some of that stuff draw through. You don't have to, but the longer it sits in the refrigerator, the better it gets. So, but like I said, that's entirely up to you. All right, let me get that in there. All right, let me stir this up. Yeah, I'm just putting this on the stove for about 10 minutes. Okay, so now to that. On my recipe thing, I have on my recipe that I wrote down, I have, this is for actually 2 cups. I'm making 4 cups. So, to this, I'm going to add some dill relish. You can add sweet if you want, but like I said, it's how much did I put down here? That one would put in 2 tablespoons right there. You can use sweet, but you're putting sugar in it, so that's entirely up to you. This is a 2 tablespoon thing, so I'm going to put 4 of them in there. And that's probably going to take care of most of it. All right, I'm just going to stick it all in there. Not going to hurt it none. I get everything down to just a little bit, and then I go to use it. I have to go get another. Then you can use all Miracle Whip or salad dressing. You can use all mayonnaise if you want. I use half and half. So if I'm only making 2 cups, I would use a half cup of salad dressing and a half cup of mayonnaise. But since I'm making 4 cups of uncooked noodles, I'm going to use a cup of each. I do like to explain that so people understand, because they look at it like that's more than a cup. So that's why I like to say, let me move this knife so I don't cut myself. As I told you before, me and knives don't get along. Let me get this. I get the store brand of the salad dressing, the Miracle Whip, but you can get Miracle Whip if you want. That's your choice. That's your right. I just try to cut corners wherever I can, especially now with everything being so expensive. Like I told you before, it's not, I used to think it was like the better the product, the better the food, but it's the way you prepare it, you know. So I use a lot of store-bought stuff, because I work for a retail store. You learn that a lot of that stuff's made by the same company as the regular. So, all right, that's a little shy, but that's okay. It's not going to hurt it now, and I just don't want to run in there and get another whole thing of, I have another one in the up front closet, but I'm not going to run in there and get it out. It's not worth it. I can put a little bit extra of the mayonnaise in it, for that matter. I've been going through a lot of mayonnaise and salad dressing lately. And I probably will just put all this in there because this is empty too. And then after we're done, I'll go get 2 new ones. All right. All right, there's that. So there's that. Now to this, I'm going to add, and that handle is yuck. I hate mayonnaise. I don't hate it, but I hate taking it out of the jar. To that, I'm going to add 3/4 of a cup of sugar. I think it is. Yeah, so I'm going to have to add 1.5 cups of sugar. Here's a 3/4 cup. I'll just use this, and then actually, I think I have a half. No, that one's a 2/3 cup, I think. So I need 2 of these. Oh man, I knew I was going to do that. All right, there's that. Now, I need to put some vinegar in there. Let me get the sugar off. I knew that was going to happen. Okay, so let me wipe my hands off again. That sugar's all over. I need 2 1/4 teaspoons of of vinegar. You can use white vinegar if you want. I'm using apple cider because I like apple cider. Okay, I'm going to turn that off. I'm just going to eyeball the... So it says, I put down here 2 1/4. So I'm going to do 2 of these. And these is teaspoon. Right. Yes. And a little bit more. Okay. Then I need 3 tablespoons of mustard. Prepared mustard, not powdered, you know, the ground mustard or anything, the prepared mustard. We need 3, so we actually need 6. So I'm going to take this 2 tablespoon thing and put it in. There's 2, there's 4, there's 6. Okay. I'm kind of excited because I haven't had this in a long time. Like I said, I used to make it a lot when I was married to my first husband, but I just never made it. Oh, I made it when Ronnie was around and the kids were at home, but. Okay, so now in here, I'm going to put a little bit of salt. I don't like a lot of salt. And I'm going to put some celery seed. You do not have to put the celery seed in if you don't want, but it's like 3/4 of a teaspoon. So I'm just going to put like 1.5 teaspoons. And then I always add parsley for color. So if you don't mind not having much color, you don't have to put it in. I put it in because of the color. So I'm going to mix all this up. And then I'm going to incorporate my macaroni into this. And you got to make sure you really mix it up. That's why I put the mayonnaise in before I put the sugar in. So the sugar's not down on the bottom. That's why I put the vegetables on the bottom too. It will be like that color. It's like a yellowish color. There is a cooked version of it also. And I will make that for you sometime. It's a little bit different. The cooked version, you can use it for macaroni or potato salad. So, but I like this one. So I'm just going to do this one right now. Okay. Let me incorporate this, and all I got yet is the eggs. Like I said, it is yellow. I mean, it's orange, like a yellowish, orangish color, so because of that mustard in there. But it's so good. Especially when it sits for a little bit. It might look like it has a lot of dressing in it, but this dressing will definitely soak up. Please remember that. It will soak up. As you sit it in the refrigerator, it's going to soak it up. So, all right, so there's that. Let me get this off this heat. Let me put it back in here. Like I said, I don't need it, but Amanda's going to need it. So, alrighty. Let me wash my hands again. I want to get a little bit of. I need that. That's why I came over here to get that, but I figured while I'm here, I might as well put some of this in water. Because I don't need the sink for anything else. So, and then Steve likes that hot honey carrots that you buy in the can. It's like $3 a can. So I talked him in today to, I got to put some of this in one for Amanda's and them. Oh, let me get the eggs in first. Okay. Let me get these eggs in first. Let me cut. I just want to show you how easy they are when, like I said, the way you do it Look how easy that was. Like I said, I put, these I got out this morning, but I sometimes leave them out all night. It depends. Especially if I'm using a lot of them for like deviled eggs or something, I'll get them out the night before and just right before I go to bed and let them sit here. But you get them out and let them become room temperature. And then after they get to be room temperature, you put them in your pot, put water in it, turn the water on for, after it starts boiling, you put the lid on, you turn the water off. See how, look. And you, you leave them in there for 10 minutes. Then when you pull them off the stove, you drain that hot liquid off of them. And then you start filling the water, the pot up with water. And as you're doing that, you put ice in it and give it an ice bath. That way, it's super cold. And for some reason, it just brings these shells right on off. So I hear people saying you need old eggs, you need new eggs, and you know, you just need eggs. You know, it doesn't matter if they're old or they're new. Like I said, look how they are, and look how easy it was to peel them. That's why I waited to peel these, because I wanted to show you all just how easy it is. So I will, there we go. Voila. Just that easy. And they're already all done. All right, let me cut these up real quick. People are ringing up there now. You're putting eggs in there? Yep, I am. I grew up right beside Lancaster County, so we did a lot of Pennsylvania Dutch and a lot of Amish food. And then when I married my first husband, his mom cooked the same way my mom cooked, so she taught me a lot too. Just put the egg in there. And then I'm going to make a plate up so you can all see it. But like I said, I'm going to put a plate on later. And it's only because I do that so I can show. I go back on live for a few minutes because it seems like people look at the food first, you know. So I don't want anybody to think it was for anything else. But sometimes I do it, and just started doing it because sometimes when I make a cake or something, it's not quite done. I don't want to hold you on here. So then I show you the end result. Like, that's why I put part 2. And, well, then I noticed I was getting a lot more views that way. So, and the better the views, the happier I am. So, like I said, I appreciate you all. A lot of you have been with me since day one. This is only I'm going on my 3rd month. I did a little bit in December, and then we had to stop for a while because I didn't know how to do all this. And it's a shame because if I would have, I could have kept on doing them. But then little by little, Stephen started showing me how to do all this stuff. So that way, like when he gets busy with work and stuff, he doesn't have to worry about going home and doing anything. So, and then last night I said, well, can you show me how to do the recipe cards? Because I said, I'm putting it at the end of the video, and that's kind of hard to do, and they can't really see it too well. So that's why today, if you noticed, and I put it on my, I can't video on my Kathy's Blessed Kitchen page. I don't know why. I just can't right now. I don't know if it's because I don't have enough followers or what. I don't know. But I can on my regular page. So he showed me how I can move it over to the Kathy's video, the Kathy's Blessed Kitchen. I can move the video over there or the recipe cards over there when it's time to do it. So like what I'll do then in a little bit here, I'll go ahead and I'll put this over to Kathy's Blessed Kitchen also. But I have to do it on my regular page first. So, and we all know I like to talk. Anybody that knows me knows I like to talk. So, all right. So now here's the egg in there. Like I said, this will look a lot different. I'm going to put it in the refrigerator. And later on when I come back, I will show you. I'm going to show it to you now, but I will also show it to you then. You know, I will show you the difference. So I got to get some out of here for Amanda. And I don't know how much she wants. Because I want to put the onion in mine. I'm not going to give them a whole bunch because I don't even know how many of them's going to eat it, to be frankly honest with you. I'll give them that much. I think that'll be good for them. And I think Amanda eats onions anyways. I'm pretty sure she does. My stepdaughter. So I'm pretty sure she does. Funny part is the other night she was over here and the oldest grandson, they came over to pick up the food on Tuesday night, and the oldest grandson was not with, he don't come with him because he's 19. She just brings Quez. He's going to be 15. And they were taking some sodas home with them. They were each going to take a soda. So Amanda goes, Quez goes, why do you have 2 Pepsis? Because Quez drinks Pepsi, Amanda drinks Coke. And Amanda goes to give to little Jay. They call him little Jay because his dad's named Jay too. He's not little, trust me. He's like 6'3", 6'4". But anyways, so they did that, and I said, I don't think little Jay drinks Pepsi. I think little Jay drinks Coke. And man goes, how do you know that? I said, because if I remember correctly, one time he got in the refrigerator and got one of my Coke Zeros out and wanted to know if this was diet. And I said, well, it's not diet, it's Coke Zero. I told him, I said, well, get it out, put a little bit in a cup, and if you don't like it, I'll drink it. So that's how I knew it was Coke, because I drink Coke Zero. So just wanted to, you know, bring that up because it was kind of funny. And then Amanda goes, I guess you do know him, huh? It was really funny. Okay. So let me get like I said, I'm not going to show you the recipe now because I will be showing it to you in just a little bit here. I'm going to put the recipe card on the, we're going to stick the recipe card on the, online. Now that I can do it, I will put it on, I promise you. So, let me get I have a spoon that'll be ideal for that. Get that out. And I'll get one of my ribs out, and I'll also show you one of the, like I said, when this gets colder, and I love this stuff. So there's the macaroni salad. You know what? When I come back later, it will probably have some carrots on it too, because I'm going to make some hot honey carrots. I'm just going to get a little piece of this out so you can see it. That's the one without the barbecue sauce on it right there. And here's the one with the barbecue sauce on it. I'm not going to put these in the broiler. I'll put them in the broiler later when Steve gets back home. He had to go to an appointment. So, these things are so tender. They just fall off this bone. Look at that. All right. I'm trying to get it up on here. Alrighty. I'm going to take a bite of that macaroni salad, make sure it tastes okay. Really good. Like I said, it's sweet, but it's really, really good. And like I said, it has juice in there. But when you put it in the refrigerator, and you'll probably see that when I bring it out later, because I'll wait for like 2 hours or so, you'll probably see how it thickens up. The juice will actually thicken up in there, so don't think it's too juicy if you when you make it. But there you go. I will come back later and just post a picture of it. But there, you can't even see the macaroni salad, huh? There you go. There you go. Barbecued ribs with Amish macaroni salad. And as always, I hope everybody has a blessed day. And don't forget, you are loved. Bye now.